The Toy Story movies take audiences on deeply emotional journeys. While on the surface they might seem like gentle family comedies, the series has never been afraid of asking truly difficult, even existential questions. The first movie shows Buzz Lightyear, forced to confront the foundational lie that he's an intergalactic space ranger, and begin to accept the harsher reality that he's nothing but a toy, and that that's okay. In 2, Woody has to choose between a static life of immortality or accepting his eventual death to potentially live a life of purpose. 3 re-ups on that theme by having all the toys attempt to escape their obsolescence, only to have their potential paradise become anything but. And last year, 4 brought that all full circle by showing Woody learning to grow beyond his original purpose to find new meaning in an often meaningless world. Beyond the heady themes, the movies are just full of gut-punching, heart-aching moments, like Buzz failing to fly, Jessie never getting over her abandonment, Woody leaving all his friends behind, and of course, how could I forget, the incinerator. The Toy Story movies explore such a broad spectrum of themes and emotions. So, why don't the rides? My name is Greg Gerberick, and this is the Q-Line Lectures. Fastpass, a shorter series about theme park design. In my last video about the Indiana Jones adventure, I talked about how that ride was so successful because it captured the emotional landscape of those movies. By my count, there are 20 Toy Story attractions worldwide, and yet even with so much representation, I'd argue none of them even attempt to build on what makes the movie series so memorable. While many of these attractions are glorified carnival rides, even the larger budget offerings, like the Buzz Lightyears, Midway Manias, and Slinky Dog Dash, seemingly treat the IP like background dressing. They prioritize capital F fun, and only reach for verbs like playful action and goofy hijinks, perfectly fitting for a gentle family comedy, but not even beginning to touch on the full formula of what makes Toy Story, Toy Story. In Toy Story 2, Wheezy the Penguin serves as a mirror for Woody's own anxiety about being broken and rejected. But on Slinky Dog Dash, he's condensed to just his gag appearance from the end of the film, where he sings a song. No sadness, no complexity, just fun. They take complicated, three-dimensional characters and thoughtfully considered themes and reduce them to, well, toys. Colorful, smiley objects to be bought and displayed. This shallowness leads to some enjoyable, but ultimately kind of forgettable attractions. But this is a larger problem than not just doing justice to the Toy Story franchise. On a gut level, why does it feel like being sad isn't appropriate for a theme park ride? Movies, TV shows, plays, video games, even those meant for children, often have no problem getting heavy at times. But rides just really seem to shy away from exploring any emotions that wouldn't be perceived as universally positive or enjoyable. The Last Jedi begins by introducing us to Paige Tico, only to have her sacrifice herself minutes later to help the Resistance. If a scene like this is appropriate for a Star Wars movie, why would it seem so out of place if the Rise of the Resistance pulled a similar move and had our new buddy General Beck sacrifice himself in order to help us escape? The Harry Potter series is mostly a coming-of-age drama with little sprinklings of action, but all 3 major Harry Potter attractions have such constant thrills, it's shockingly hard to differentiate their emotional landscape from something like Transformers or even Jurassic Park. Up opens with a lengthy montage about romance, the pain of infertility, death, and even more. But the idea of having a ride that tells that same story just doesn't seem possible in the landscape of a park like Disneyland. Examples like these show the current limitations of the emotional palette available to theme park designers. But these limitations exist for understandable reasons. Theme parks as we know today exist as evolutions of carnivals, fairs, and pleasure gardens, so it's no surprise their bread and butter are simple satisfactions. The advancement of the medium has come through beginning to add narrative elements to match the thrill, not the other way around. The short duration of rides also makes conveying a complex story a very difficult challenge, so it's no surprise ride designers want to keep the narrative as straightforward as possible. That being said, I think there are a lot of rich possibilities to come from expanding that emotional palette available to rides, allowing them to be something more than just a fun and thrilling romp. Could a ride be tragic? Could a ride be touching? Could a ride be introspective and thoughtful? Could a ride be truly political? Could a ride make you cry? I'd argue that they could, but it requires designers to take some big risks, get personal, and never underestimate our audience. If we trust that park guests of any age can handle the sudden turns and quick drops of a roller coaster, we should respect them enough to give them stories with just as much impact. Thank you for watching.